Kia ora, and a very warm welcome to the Kākāpō Files from RNZ. Ko Alison Ballance aho. We are 10 episodes into a potentially record-breaking breeding season for the endangered flightless night parrot, and it's very busy and very exciting. Later in the episode, we go behind the scenes with Doc's Kākāpō Recovery Programme on Whenua Hou, Codfish Island, as I spend time there with the very hard-working Kākāpō Team. But first, the headline news, with Kākāpō Ranger Maddie Whitaker, who is on Pukenui, Anchor Island. Kia ora, Maddie.
Good morning, Alison.
Now let's cut straight to the chase. I'm expecting that this episode will have some birth notices in it, or at least that's what I'm hoping, because I understand from Daryl and from the rest of the Kākāpō team that there were some chick hatchings imminent. Give me the news.
Yes, very, very exciting. So we have our first chick for the breeding season. Tīwhiri A1 is the egg, and it hatched in Yasmine's nest, and is doing very well. I got to meet the little one last night doing a chick check. 39 grams, and very strong little individual, making lots of noise, and there's definitely a very, very special thing to behold, this beautiful fluffy little cloud in the palm of your hand. It's not surprising that many rangers, I think, are moved to tears on their first sort of experience of that. It's very, very special, very, very sacred, and very exciting that it's all gone well in that space. So while that's our first hatched chick, there's a couple more on the way. So Whenua Hou has its first egg that's externally pipping, which means that they will have a chick very, very soon. Huhu A1 is the egg. And we also had a second egg here on Pukenui, Anchor Island, which started externally pipping, and that one got moved to Kākāpō. So it may have, as we speak, it may have already hatched in a nest over there, or be very close to that. So we're going to have chicks right across our three main islands for breeding, which is very exciting and very much a change in phase that's beginning, going from that. Still going to have lots of eggs, but a lot of chick chicks starting up and a different kind of intensity of work.
Now, I take it from your comment that an egg has gone to Te Kākāpō, that there's a team out there at the moment checking on things. What Te Kākāpō news do we have?
Myself and another ranger were there a week and a bit ago, and we were very excited at that point in time to discover the first ever fertile eggs onto Kākāpō, and a number of nests. We're up to 10 nests on Te Kākāpō now. So we found 9 of them. So we shuffled the eggs around a little bit so that each mum had a fertile egg. However, we didn't have quite enough for all of the nests. So there are 2 people out there currently who are bringing some eggs from Anchor, so that every nest out there should have a fertile egg in it.
So you flicked me through a picture of the fridge door, and I noticed that there's a new name on Te Kākāpō, Mukeke, and she's been missing, hasn't she?
Yes, that is very true. So currently, Deirdre and Andrew Digby are our Kākāpō team members who are out onto Kākāpō, but alongside them are 2 dog handlers, James Fraser and Max Smart, who their dogs are trained to find Kākāpō, and they found Mukeke yesterday on a nest with 4 eggs, which is very exciting. We're waiting to hear the order of them, but we do know that at least 2 of them are fertile, which is very, very exciting, and the other ones are not fertile.
So what's the running total that we've got? I know this changes by the day, but what are we up to in terms of the number of nests and the number of eggs and how many eggs are fertile?
Yes, so we've got 62 nests across all of the islands. Pukenui, Anchor Island, has significantly more at the moment than any other island, 36 nests. 18 on Whenua Hou and 10 on Te Kākāpō. But Whenua Hou, we're expecting that number to rise as a lot of birds are still in that nesting phase at the moment. And then eggs-wise, 193 eggs, which I just find phenomenal. It's a huge number. And of those, 90 of them are fertile. 68 we know to be infertile, and we have lost 12 of those 90 fertile or no infertile eggs to early embryo death. And so there are some eggs as well that, like, you'll notice that 90 and 68 doesn't add up to 193. So that difference is because there's some eggs that we haven't been able to candle yet. You have to wait till they're a certain age to be able to really assess properly if the development is going well. So some of those checks are still ongoing. And we definitely expect Whenua Hou has come out of a stage of very intensive AI, and that's been going really well. And as you can see from the board itself, all the little smiley faces next to the birds with AI are evidence that it has gone really well.
So Tīwhiri A1 is the first chick of the 2026 Kākāpō breeding season. Wonderful. Tīwhiri laid 4 fertile eggs, so he is hoping for more Tīwhiri chicks soon. The plan is for Tīwhiri to raise 2 and for Yasmine to raise 2. And by the way, 3 4-year-olds have now bred: Onga Onga, Matilda and Pakeke. Now last week I got to see Kākāpō management in action on Whenua Hou. Kākāpō management is a unique mix of sophisticated technology and old-fashioned boots on the ground. The technology side is a system known as NoraNet 3, named after the matriarch of the Kākāpō Wind dynasty, Nora. It's a bespoke set of devices, designed and built by Doc's electronics team, and it's evolved significantly since it first debuted a decade ago. The mission-critical bit of equipment is a smart transmitter. One is worn on the back of every individual Kākāpō. It detects their activity, just like smartwatches do, and also, when they get close enough to one another, it records their interactions with each other. Now here is my first island dispatch in which we get to join rangers in the field and discover how the tech all works. We also make a few mother-daughter connections. First up, I'm on a mission with longtime ranger Lee to find Queenie, a 2009 bird that I had the privilege of naming after my mum, but have never met.
Kia ora, Alison. So today we're going in to find Queenie. She was mated the other night and also had AI, so we're really hoping she's nesting. So the mission is to find her and find her nest.
Lee is radio tracking Queenie using beeps sent by her smart transmitter. We start at a high point in Queenie's home range and Lee unfolds the radio aerial.
Fantastic, we found her. So I'm just going to change it over because at the moment she's got a very slow beep. You hear that?
Yep.
It's about 1 every 6 seconds. So I'm going to use what we call the bluster box. And that will switch her beep over, so it'll be a lot faster and easier to find her.
The bluster box is named after male Kākāpō Bluster Murphy, and it remotely switches the transmitter between battery-saving data collection mode and the faster radio tracking mode.
There we go.
Lee swings the aerial to find the strongest signal.
There we go. That's a nice strong signal. Which is down the hill. So we're going to head off down this ridge. She's in the same nest site that we found her the other day. And it's a lovely, nice dry one when I looked in the other day. So hopefully she's sitting nice and tight. I'll peek in with the torch and just make sure she's home.
Let's have a look at your picture. Oh, look at her, sitting there looking at the camera.
Can't see any eggs at the moment, but hopefully she's getting ready. Isn't she adorable?
She's a particularly lovely one.
She is a very lovely Kākāpō.
And so you've got your daughter Mahina working out here with you on the island. And
yes.
Queenie's named after my mum. So
yeah, it's really lovely.
Mothers and daughters.
It is. It feels very special, doesn't it?
So no eggs yet, but Queenie is sitting tight. Next, Lee installs the nest tech so that Queenie's comings and goings can be monitored from afar. Inside the nest, as close as possible to her, goes a tiny receiver that detects the signal from her transmitter and shows whether she's present or not. An infrared sensor beam, known as the ding-dong, is installed in the nest entrance to announce her comings and goings. Both of these are cabled back to a hub known as a nest snark, named, you guessed it, after a kākāpō called Snark. This has an aerial so it can send data back to base via a series of data loggers situated on high points around the island. The solar-powered devices are known as aerials, and actually no, these are named not after a kākāpō, but a former Kākāpō ranger. There's also a battery version known as Beryl. These electronic rangers in turn pass all the nest information to a portal in the cloud, accessible to the Kākāpō team wherever they are. At the hut on Whenua Hou, it's displayed on a computer known as the train station. I asked Tech Whiz Jake to explain how it works and what a nest controller does, as I've offered to do that job for a night.
So the train station is a piece of software that collates all of the data coming in from the data loggers at the nests and lets us know all the arrivals and departures and other information from every nest that we've found on the island.
So there's a list of females there. Those are the ones whose nests have been found and they've got the technology set up.
Correct, yeah.
Tonight someone's going out to try and look at the eggs of Weheruatanga o te pō. What's going to happen?
If you want to look at her eggs, what we would do is enable the option so that when she leaves, an alarm goes off. That'll wake you up and you're able to radio the person at the nest to tell them that she's away and they're free to go in and check her eggs.
So that's what I've heard people talking about, the ding-dongs?
Yes, yeah, we call them the ding-dongs or the gonbong or the home tone. There's lots of different names for funny names for things on the train station. But it's a very loud alarm that is guaranteed to wake you up.
I think the ding-dongs, I remember the real original ding-dongs back in 1997 during that breeding season. And I think they came from one of those home systems, you know, where someone could bring your front doorbell and you had a little television monitor.
Yes.
You could see who was there and it went ding-dong very loudly.
The original ones were modelled off of those old intercom phones, and so we still have a few of them that get deployed on the hill, yeah.
Yep, so the female leaves the nest, she breaks a beam, it sets off the ding-dong down here. What were the other ones you were talking about?
The gonbong, so that just triggers the alarm here that she's left. The home tone, so that triggers an alarm that she's come home. And there's a variety of other alarms, like if the ding-dong has gone off too many times, so something has maybe happened in the nest, another animal has come in or there's been a fight or something like that. There's the no mum ding-dong alarm, which means something's gone into the nest while mum's away, which is obviously quite bad.
So that might be a cook's petrel or something?
Yeah, it could be a petrel, it could be another male that just hasn't been picked up with its transmitter yet, or quite often it could just be that the sensor's fallen over.
So come the evening, Ranger Tom and volunteer Helen have headed up to the nest of Weheruatanga o te pō, Wehepo for short. When she leaves to feed, I'll radio them so they can collect the eggs and bring them to the hut to be safely incubated. Here's a short audio diary of my night as nest controller. It's the wee hours and I'm fast asleep on the office floor when... Oh, Lordy, it's 2:47 in the morning. Let me turn that alarm off. Tom from Alison.
Hello, Alison.
Good morning, Wehepo has just left.
That's amazing, thank you. We will put our boots on.
A few minutes pass. The train station shows that Wehepo is still away, so that'll be Tom accessing the nest.
Alison from Tom and Helen.
Go ahead, Tom.
Hey there, we have left the nest site. We have 3 eggs on board. We're just going to have a look at them here. One of them was outside the nest bowl and it's quite cold. Touch
Excellent news, 3 eggs. Doesn't sound very good about the cold one though. More time passes. And those are the returning alarms, and she's been off for 50 minutes. So she's come back to find 2 dummy eggs in her nest.
Alison from Tom Health.
Go ahead, Tom.
No obvious sign of development, unfortunately. But you never know, we'll go put them in the incubator anyway and see later.
Oh, that's a shame. Never mind. Where he poes back on her nest.
We'll start heading back.
Travel safely. And while Tom and Helen walk back to the hut in the darkness bearing 3 probably infertile eggs, I go back to sleep. The NORAnet system, on the other hand, never sleeps. It is continually collecting activity and proximity data from all the Kākāpō transmitters across all the islands. That information is uploaded every morning, and that's when the Kākāpō team can sit down and see who has mated with who overnight and whose activity indicates possible nesting. One morning on Whenua Hou, I catch up with technical advisor Daryl, who is keenly checking all the birds' activities. So good morning, Daryl.
Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm good, and you're looking at a computer. And is this all the action last night?
Yes, this is our Elvis program, and that collects all the data from the transmitters of the birds, and we can look at each island. So if we look at Whenua Hou, and we can see that Tukaha has mated with Te Atapo last night. So they were together for 38 minutes.
You used to measure the quality of the mating. Do you still do that?
Yes, we do. So this score is 85. So that tells you how much the other bird was moving.
Yeah, so you'd consider 85 a good score?
85 is a pretty high score, so that's really good. Look at anchor, and straight up we can see that Alison's mated. So
Woo-hoo.
Alison.
So Alison is a 2019 baby, so she's just coming up 7.
That's right.
Excellent.
So this is her first breeding season, and we'll look at her data. And she mated for 27 minutes at a quality of 97, so very good.
Not bad for a first time.
That's right. And her mate was Horton.
I'm really pleased for Alison.
Yes, I knew you would be. There's a few matings that have gone undetected, so we suddenly learn about them when they go into incubation behaviour and their activity drops right down.
And have you had any more birds go into nesting behaviour?
Cindy, I'm being suspicious of her. She's down to 4.7 hours of activity for yesterday, so that's very likely that she's on a nest.
It's very good. And she's Alison's grandmother.
That's right. Yes.
And that's it for my first Island Dispatch. I'll be back next week with more field reports. But for now, I'm excited to know that my namesake Kākāpō gives every indication that she's nesting. And we'll hopefully have more news on Alison and her mother Queenie and her grandmother Cindy next week. I'm Alison Ballance, and you've been listening to the Kākāpō Files from RNZ. My trip to Whenua Hou was made possible by the Kākāpō Recovery Programme at the New Zealand Department of Conservation. A very big thank you to the Kākāpō team, especially Maddie Whittaker, Lee Joyce, Jake Osborne, Tom Preble and Daryl Eason. Many thanks too to RNZ's Claire Concannon and Rihanna Uritich-Gregg and sound engineer Mark Chesterman. You can find the Kākāpō Files at rnz.co.nz or wherever you listen to podcasts. Please rate, review and share the podcast if you can. Take care, stay safe and join us again next week for more Kākāpō excitement and joy. Mā te wā.